Hello, everyone. All right, so I am going to talk about the Academy Award winners, my thoughts on, you know, uh, on the chosen winners and so on and so forth. So the Academy Awards happened today's Saturday, so last week Sunday, so just about a week ago. I have in front of me on my computer the list, and I'm just going to go through. I try to keep this video as short as possible and just talk about my feelings on some winners, whether I thought they were deserved or not, so on and so forth. Um, uh, I am also going to link the article, my Oscar nominations predictions. Um, I'm gonna list. Oh, did I? Yeah. I'm going to. Okay, so I wrote that article. I'm looking at February 18. So I'm gonna link that article in this blog post and or in this YouTube video, whichever. Okay, so let's get right on to it. I'm just gonna go straight from the top. Best Picture, Green Book. I saw Green Book in the theaters, by the way. Which the reason I mention that is I don't usually see just straight dramas in theaters. I usually take advantage of the fact that movie theaters have huge surround sound, amazing speakers, and it's a big projection screen, and it's a communal atmosphere. So I use those to watch big movies like action movies and so on and so forth. Other smaller movies, I don't need to go to a theater for that because I can see them on home video. Um, so anyway, I also watch a few comedies just because of the fact that you can laugh with a big audience. Now, Green Book was a good movie, well written, well acted, but it wasn't the best picture of the year. Just looking um, at the list of nominees: Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star Is Born, Vice. To me, if it was up to me, Black Panther would have been my best picture. I don't care that it's a comic book movie. I don't care that it's fantasy. It was the best well-made movie of the year in terms of the direction, the makeup, the costuming. I'm very happy that those two, the costume and the production won because those are my predictions. I'll get to those in a second. Um, but it was the best picture of the year. It grabbed a large audience, like grabbed them like emotionally. But Black Panther to me was the best picture. Now, they've never given a comic book movie best picture. They have given fantasy movies, Ben Hur, and and Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. Both of them have the highest wins, 11 out of 14 nominations each, and won Best Picture. Um, that's because it was so clear. It was the first Best Picture of the year for those movies were way beyond the second in people's minds. But anyway, so Black Panther to me was the Best Picture. Um, if that didn't happen, um, give it to Roma, or give it to Vice, or give it to A Star Is Born. Born. It wasn't Green Book. Okay, moving on. Best Director. I always say, and I've always said this, and I will always say it again. The best director made the best picture. So whoever wins Best Picture should win Best Director. It only makes sense unless you want to just split it up and distribute the award to more movies. Fine, maybe. Now, the Best Picture had only what, four nominees? Why is Best Director only having one, two, three, four, five? Five. Are you saying that half of the Best Picture nominees don't deserve Best Director? I don't understand the thinking there. So you give it to Roma, which is good because that movie really deserves praise. I'm going to link a a one of those video essays about why Roma is really exceptional. I think it was by Screen Prism, which I believe I'm right. they rebranded their name to like The Take by Screen Prism or something. So I'll link that video, that the link to that video, because it really highlighted, even for me, why Roma was really exceptional, beyond the things you can see on the surface. So very happy for Alfonso Cuarón. Man, this guy probably is the director that has won the most award Oscars in history. I'll have to check that just by me viewing. I mean, he has won many awards, and even in this in this award, he won for best foreign film because Roma was a Mexican film made in Mexico. He's Mexican. All the actors were Mexican. Fantastic film. Let's move on to lead actress. Olivia Colman. Now, okay, so Yalitza, Glenn Close, Olivia, Lady Gaga, Melissa McCarthy. I've seen all these movies. I haven't finished Can You Ever Forgive Me? But I've seen all these movies. To me, there's no clear winner. So, fine, I'm not going to talk about that much because to me, there's no clear winner. They were all great. Let's move on to lead actor. Rami Malek won. Okay, so I saw a video, right? Now, I'm going to link. It is a video that compares the final Live Aid concert to the main. It has side by side Live Aid in the film Bohemian Rhapsody and the real Live Aid concert by the actual Queen band, and what it shows is Rami Malek pretty much did a redo of all the moves that the Queen lead did. I forget his name; it doesn't matter to me. And to me, that's just it's like a Saturday Night Live thing, or like one of those sketches or one of those cover songs. You're just copying exactly what the guy did, and that's good and all well and well, but freaking in The Star Is Born, Bradley Cooper, who is not a natural singer, learned to sing, really learned to sing, and he really sounded well, sounded good. Learned to play the guitar, fine. The guitar playing was not real, it was air guitar, which is fine, but he learned to sing and learned to perform. He's not a singer, and he did a great job, right? He really crafted. Fine. You know what? Rami Malek. Now, this is why I like the Rami Malek win. The first time I saw Rami Malek was in this movie, this Ben Stiller movie. This Ben Stiller movie about Night at a Museum. Rami Malek was not the lead, and he wasn't even. He was just one of those group of people in the movie, and he was. Like, he looked like an extra. You would never think that this guy would win Best Actor and Best Actor at the Golden Globes and at the Oscars. That's like a grass to grace kind of a rise to stardom. That's why I like that he won. But I don't think he was the Best Actor. Sorry. No. I would have given it to Christian Bale or Bradley Cooper, one of those two. Willem Dafoe, Vigo did it. Yeah, Vigo really transformed himself into somebody else. Let me tell you why I don't like Rami Malek's. There's a flaw. The British accent was wanting. It wasn't the best to me. Now, yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that. Best original song, "Shallow," Stars Born, hands down, 100%. Best original score, thank God they gave it to Black Panther. Oh my God. That score lifts you up like no other. Ludwig Göransson. I'm gonna also link another video. Ludwig. Is it Ludwig or Ludwig? Ludwig. It was the video was done by Genius. Genius.com. They do the lyrics to songs, but they do it in a very interactive way. It's a great site, which was one of the one of the VCs, one of the what. Sometimes when I talk, I can't think of something else. But one of the VCs, um, they actually, they actually invested in the movie. Sorry, in the company. Is Andreessen Horowitz, which is a leading VC in Silicon Valley. So I remember watching many years ago, watching interviews about Genius, but that's just a short aside about Genius. But Genius, they have a YouTube channel, and they did a behind the scenes making of how Ludwig traveled to, I believe it was Senegal in Africa, and how he actually recorded uh, the the music or parts of the music for Black Panther with actual musicians from Senegal. It was amazing to see. Yeah, and he made this trip a year before they even started filming Black Panther, and I thought that was the fact that he immersed himself and he knew that he had to go to the source of African music, and I find that amazing, and that depth of commitment was amazing. And then all that research was not for naught. It actually worked to, you know, um, to get a very pure score. So I was very happy that he won that score. That he won Best Original Score. Um, this album was what made me to subscribe to Apple Music. I paid for a whole year, $100 or $100 in American. I live in Canada, so whatever, 139 or something like that. It really lifts you up, man. As someone who is African, watching that movie Black Panther and hearing that score, pam 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 pam, that's the royalty cue. It lifts up your spirits, man. Makes you feel like royalty. So it was definitely the best score, and I'm happy that the Oscars did not mess that up. Let's move on to adapted screenplay. Black Klansman won. Um, so I haven't seen all the nominees. You have the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I haven't seen. I have seen Black Klansman. I haven't finished Can You Forgive Me? I haven't finished Bill Street Could Talk. I have finished A Star Is Born. I don't know. This one, to me, there's no clear winner. First of all, what is adapted screenplay? I know adapted screenplay is something based on another material. In A Star Is Born's case, it's based on the previous movies. And in some other of the nominees' cases, it's based on the book or something like that. But how do you judge that a movie is well written? Because when it's well written, it also goes with it being well spoken or acted. It also goes with being well made or filmed. So how do you make that distinction that it's the best written? We can combine this thought process with original screenplay. Is it how sweet the words sound, or is it the way the story is crafted? So that's something that I don't know exactly. Also, I don't have a strong feeling about what the best adapted screenplay is, but I'm very glad that Spike Lee won the Oscar. I'm very happy. It's been a long time coming. He's been one of the best directors for 30 years. He has to have an Oscar before he retires or leaves the game. So thank God he has it. Original screenplay, Green Book. I'll say okay. I'll say that's fine. If I'm going by my previous thoughts process, the words sounded very sweet and the story is well crafted. The setup and payoff, the beginning, middle, end, everything, it's well structured. I'm fine with giving it to Green Book. Other nominees were The Favorite, First Reformed, Roma, and Vice. I would have given it to. Let me see what my prediction was for original screenplay. I wanted Vice to win. In fact, what I said was, who will win Vice? And then I said my choice is either Vice or Green Book, and I'm good with either. I thought they would give it to Vice. Why did I think they'd give it to Vice? Because Vice is about politics. It's about recent history. and the awards like those kind of journalistic, political stuff. But Green Book is about racism and a positive take on racism. So I'm glad they did that as well. I'm good. Okay, live action short. No one sees live action short movies. Uh, I literally have no idea what each of them are. Visual effects, First Man won. That's bullshit. First Man won visual effects. Did you see Avengers Infinity War? Did you see Thanos? You think it's so easy to get emotional, to get a visual effects character crying or to make you feel for him or for you to forget that you're watching a visual effect in the first place. Avengers Infinity War deserved the best visual effects. I was so sure you'd get it. You gave it to First Man for what? No, no. Avengers Infinity War should have won that one 100%. I don't know about documentary short subject. Animated shorts. Domishi won it for Bao. Everyone knew this. I remember I went to see The Incredibles 2, not The Incredibles 2, but Incredibles 2, and I knew that Bao was going to play before. There was a 10-second teaser on the Pixar's Twitter page, and when I saw those 10 seconds, I said, this short is going to win Best Animated Short at the Oscars. Bear in mind, I hadn't seen the movie. I hadn't seen The Incredibles. I had seen Incredibles 2. I had not seen the short. Just from those 10 seconds, hands down. And during the trailers at the movie, I told my dates that when this short plays, half of this room is going to be crying before the movie Incredibles 2 even starts. She was like, and that's exactly what happened. She was crying after Bao finished. I didn't cry, but I was very touched, and I was hearing sniffles all around us. And I'm happy that Bao was made by someone from Canada, especially Toronto. I live in Toronto, and I was very happy for Domishi because she set the short in Toronto, and you can tell from the red chairs in the streetcars, and there was also our landmark tower, CN Tower, and there were also some things on the fridge in the house that designated that. I think Dad wore like a Toronto flag or something like that. Anyway, so she really paid tribute, and I think the full shorts is on the Pixar's page, Disney Pixar page, and also the making of is there. She invited the mom to cook and make dumplings in Pixar, and people learned. It was great. It was very warm to watch. I sent both videos to my mom, and also recorded a voice note telling her why I sent this to her, and hopefully she enjoyed it. There was no reply. Yeah, parents are weird about movies like that. All right, so animated feature. Oof. First of all these movies are exceptional. Any one of them would have deserved animated feature. Incredibles 2, directed by Brad Bird. Isle of Dogs, directed by Wes Anderson. Mirai, I haven't seen that. Ralph Breaks Internet, I've seen that. Phil Moore, Rich Moore, and Phil Johnston. And Spider-Man Into the Universe, directed by like 4 different people, and the story by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who gave us 21 Jump Street, who gave us Lego movies. Those two in the same year, by the way, which was like those guys, anything they touch turns to gold. And it literally happened right now that they won gold statuettes. I didn't plan that line, by the way. That was purely instinctual. Now, I would have, if now Spider-Man came out, I believe December. If Spider-Man came Into the Spider-Verse did not come out that year, Incredibles 2 would have won it. Great follow-up, great sequel to the first Incredibles, which was a perfect movie. With the first Incredibles, they shouldn't have made Fantastic Four because that captured everything that a family of heroes should have been. And they certainly shouldn't have made that fan-four-stick whatever nonsense. Now, Isle of Dogs, I've seen snippets. I've seen scenes. I haven't seen the whole movie, but I have to give the biggest props to people that do stop motion, not even stop motion animation, so not even stop motion live action, but stop motion animation is insane to me because the amount of time to move these tiny little pieces step by step and to make fur and to make water and to make all these things, you have to make 12 you have to do 12 movements in a second. That's what 12 frames a second comes from. I mean, just watch that sushi cutting preparation scene, and you're like, my God, how the artistry at work is astonishing. So for that, they would have deserved it too. But Spider-Man Into the Universe went in here, man. When you can grab your audience in here, in their hearts, you are deserving of the best movie, because that's all a movie is relatability, right? How well can the audience relate to your character? And Spider-Man Into the Universe took it to 11. Incredibles 2 was at a 9. All right. Supporting actor. Mahershala Ali won for Green Book. Well deserved, no doubt. He also won the Golden Globe. Like, we don't even need to talk about anybody else. He's the clear winner, and he won. He's an amazing actor. And it's interesting that Mahershala Ali has been working for a very, very long time. I think 20 years or something. The first time I saw him was The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Near the beginning, he was like the pastor when Benjamin Button was an old man, but also a kid, like a 7-year-old kid. And he was also he was in the movie throughout, just in and out. I think he was the boyfriend to Benjamin Button's black mom, something like that. But he caught my attention. This was back in, I remember I was in grad school, so it must have been 2010 or 2000, I think 2009. Yeah, 2009. So just fast forward 10 years, and now he's being recognized for all his roles. 2 years ago, he won supporting actor for Moonlight, well deserved as well. Film editing. John Ottman won it for Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, how do you know what the best edited movie is? Is it either, because editing means is the person that makes a scene go from one scene to the next, and is editing supposed to be invisible, or is editing supposed to be out there? Because for the out there editing, I would have given it to Vice. Out there meaning unconventional, but also being creative, being new, doing something different. I would have given it to Vice, especially for the scene where George Bush was talking to Donald Rumsfeld, and in like George Bush's front porch or something, and Bush was asking Donald to, is it, I hope I'm getting the name right, Donald Rumsfeld, I think. No, not Donald Rumsfeld. Whatever the vice president's name was. Well, I don't care. This is off the cuff. I didn't prepare for this. And what's his name? So Bush was, so the vice president was telling Bush, if he was going to be vice president, these were his terms. And then the editor cut to somebody fishing. I think actually the vice president in fishing in other scenes, but it was a tight shot of his hand on the fishing rope or pole, and so the editor was going back and forth, and that signifies what the vice president was doing to the president, because when you fish, you're trying to trick the fish with dummy fish or dummy organisms on the hook, so that you get them and you reel them in. So that was a metaphor for the vice president reeling in the president to change the role of the vice presidency and make it extremely powerful. And I like that whole editing. So that's just an example of the editing. However, that person did not win, Hank Corwin. In fact, the editing was so prominent in that movie that in promotional materials or in interviews, director Adam McKay would take his editor and Hank Corrin to interviews. You don't see that. You don't see editors in interviews with the director. But he was very instrumental in that film, just like in The Big Short, which is one of my favorite movies. And I think that won for best editing at the Oscars, which well deserved. Anyway, here's why I'm happy that John Ottman won. John Ottman has always been the composer and editor in most or all of Bryan Singer's films. Bryan Singer is the unofficial director of Bohemian Rhapsody. From what I heard, he directed most of the film, and then at some point it was let go, and then for sexual harassment claims, whatever, and then somebody else came in. Actually, the person that came in, I did not know he was a director. He's an actor in some of these Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels films by that guy Matthew Vaughn or something, and one of those actors. And I didn't know he was a director until I checked him out. He's directed like 2 or 3 films now. So anyway, I'm happy John Ottman won because I've known him since the X-Men days, X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and he is also, basically, think of it, Bryan Singer movie. John Ottman edits and does the musical score. And I'm happy to see him winning an award, man. He's always doing great. Okay, foreign language film, Roma won it. Great. Sound mixing, Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know, man. I would have given it to Black Panther. Or Roma was great too. First Man was amazing. Whatever. Actually, okay, fine. This Quiet Place wasn't there. Quiet Place was nominated for sound editing. Let me tell you why The Quiet Place should have won. By the way, Bohemian Rhapsody won that as well. The Quiet Place, sound is at the forefront of that movie. Sound is the main character, or was the main character, in The Quiet Place. In A Quiet Place. They should have won that. Because the sound editing, first of all, what is the difference between sound mixing and sound editing? Sound mixing is balancing all the various sounds or music or audio that you hear on the soundtrack. Soundtrack meaning any audio thing and any audio you hear as the movie moves along. So you can the sound mixer can make the music louder, or make the sounds louder, or make the dialogue louder, or adjust the volumes is what I mean by louder, or what's at the forefront and what's in the background. That's sound mixing, audio-wise. Sound editing, I believe, is placing sounds. I guess what the quality of the sound is, I don't know for sure, but it has to do with how are you cutting, because film editing is how are you cutting the film, how are you cutting the picture, when do you cut, or what scene do you interplace back and forth, whatever. Fine. I'm not sure exactly what sound editing is. I don't want to Google that because I like my videos to be off the cuff, so it's more natural. But you guys can Google it, check on Wikipedia, find the difference between sound mixing and sound editing. But if you don't want to think that deeply, I just feel and I believe that A Quiet Place should have won one of the sound awards, but I don't know why it wasn't. In fact, I feel like it deserved sound mixing more than sound editing, but it did not win. Bohemian Rhapsody won again. I don't agree with that. Cinematography, Alfonso Cuarón won, yes, for Roma. Well deserved, big time. It was as if he took the spirits and the skills of his longtime friend and collaborator, cinematographer, Emmanuel Lubezki, who shot Gravity, that movie, Children of Men, and that one long shot movie, Birdman, and basically all of Alfonso Cuarón's films. and he meaning Emmanuel Lubezki has won like 3 Academy Awards for cinematography now. He's pretty much the best in the world, from the quality of movies, from quality of his camera movements and camera capture, and the way he um, shoots his films. He likes to do long takes simply because Quaron likes to do long takes. And so it's as if Alfonso Cuarón took on that spirit, and of course he has learned working with Chivo, which is Emmanuel Lubezki's nickname. And over the years, so now this was the first film that Cuarón his own cinematographer. And his first film that he was cinematographer, he won Best Cinematography. I mean, whew, amazing. Production design, Hannah Bichler for Black Panther. Yes, when I saw this movie, I said, this movie came out in February of 2018, a year ago, a year before the Academy Awards. And I said, I hope and I pray that this movie wins Black Panther. In fact, I don't believe any movie that comes out would beat the production design of Black Panther. And I was right, they won that. Right next to it, Black Panther for costume design for Ruth Carter. I said the costuming, the African attire. I love that Africanism is coming into the forefront, and it seems from Ryan Coogler, from all these black directors, the show Blackish, and there's so many, I can't think right now, but there's so many great work coming out of black directors and black visionaries. And I'm so happy that Black Panther won production design and costume design, because it's well deserved, and it shows you that it feels like a renewed pride in being African. Because as Africans, we don't get good publicity on CNN and documentaries. All you see are the poor people. The poor people exist in every country. Why don't you always show poor people in, like, I don't know, like, it's just a thing. Like, as Africans, you would rather see great news, great. You rather see our greatness being told, but they're not always told. It's a thing. So I'm just happy that Black Panther showed Africans in good lights, royalty, looking great, and they won costume design. Very happy about that. Makeup and hairstyling, they gave to Vice. Fantastic, well deserved. Documentary feature, Free Solo, well deserved. Directed by Jimmy Chin and his wife, Elizabeth Chai Vasarahi, about the life of Alex Honnold. Not the life of Alex Honnold, a specific segment of his life when he climbed the El Capitan mountain at Yosemite National Park. And well-made movie. Well made. I'm gonna link a short write-up about why. Link the Free Solo write-up, and the write-up was about why Free Solo deserved the win. First of all, they wrote the write-up after the movie, after the Free Solo won the Oscar. So whatever, people like to write things about why things happened, and it's like, something happened and now you're writing about that, but you did not predict it. However, it was well written. In fact, I sent a tweet to them, and this is what I said in the tweets. Where is it? Ooh, no, that's Free Soul. No, actually, the tweet was about Apollo 11. Yeah. So anyway, okay, let's continue. Let us continue to supporting actress Regina King, wanting for If Beale Street Could Talk. I did not see it, but I did see the favorites because Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz were nominated, and the mom in Roma was also nominated, and Amy Adams in Vice was nominated. I thought all of them were great. Couldn't tell from the performance, because I didn't see Regina King, but I couldn't tell from the rest of them which actor appeared to rise above more than everybody else. I think they were all great. So that's it from what I see from the lists at variety.com. And there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Academy Awards. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a little bit from my thoughts. Thank you. Have a good time.